Welcome to Data Analytics with Mr. George. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. We are looking at a very important tool for a data analyst. If you are just starting out, Excel is one of the most powerful tools you want to master. Yes, because it's the bread and butter of data analysis and a skill you use almost daily. In today's video, I'll walk you through the essential Excel skills every beginner data analyst should learn. But before we dive in, you might be wondering why Excel when we have Python, R, and Power BI. Excel is still a staple for data analysis, and why? Because it's accessible, versatile, and great for quick data manipulations without code. To add to that, almost every company expects their data analysts to know Excel, making it a fundamental skill in the field. With Excel, you could perform quick calculations and analysis, data organization and cleaning, simple data visualization, and is widely used in every business environment. And in Excel, a function is a predefined calculation, like adding up numbers or finding an average, while a formula, on the other hand, is something you create yourself by combining different functions and operators. Together, these tools help data analysts find insight quickly and accurately. We are going to start with the sum function. Now, what do you do with sum? You actually use sum to add numbers in selected cells. That means our cells have, under this unit sold, we have cells, our cells with different numbers. The sum comes in when you want to know the total units sold. So for example, this cell is under the E column, row 2, and then the end here is still under the E column, row 11. If I want to know the total units sold, what will I do? Just come to the empty cell, and then every calculation in Excel must start with an equal sign. Then I'll have to mention the operation I'm performing with this unit sold. I said I want to know the total, so I'm going to use the sum function, sum, and then I'm going to open my bracket, and then I'm going to call out the beginning of the number, which is E2. You could see it's highlighted, and then I'm going to use my column and then call out the last number, E11, and then close my bracket. Did you see what just happened? This is E2, and then this is E11. When I press enter, it gives me 191. This has just added up all the units sold, and this is what the sum function is used for. And you could see the formula here in the formula bar, equals sum E2 E11. Let's look at next. I want to find the average. What do you use the average for? It helps you find the middle value in your data. I want to find the middle value in my data. Let's say I want to calculate average sales, average customer rating, or monthly performance. An average actually ignores text and blank cells. So for example, I want to know the average sale. I want to know, okay, the average price. I'll still repeat the same thing, my equal sign, and then I'll call in average. Average is here. I'll click my average, tap, and then I'll select the first number. I either write it like the first time or I highlight the whole. But for the sake of beginners, this 15,000 is under D and then row 2. So I'm going to write D2 colon, then the last one is D11, D11, and then I'll now close my bracket and hit enter. So my average price is 9,880, and this is the formula in the formula bar, equals average D2 D11. I'm looking at mean now. Let's say for example I want to find my highest and lowest values. Highest and lowest values. For example, what is the lowest in my total sales? I'm going to use the mean function, equal mean, which is minimum, tab, and then I'm going to go to F2. F2, you could see it's been selected, colon, then F11. Close my bracket, hit enter. So my minimum value under total sales is 42,000. Minimum values is 42,000, and this is the formula in the formula bar. Let's say for example I want to find the maximum. For example, the maximum price here, my equal sign, max, tab, then is under D, so I'm going for D2, my column D11 equals to 45,000. That is my maximum sales, my maximum price. Then count. What does count actually do? It tells you how many numbers are in your selection. Let's say for example I don't know that it's 11, because if you know I have 1 to 11. Let's say I don't know it is 11. I want to count my product ID, equal, let's use count, tab. I'm going to start from A2 to A11. It just counted. It just showed me that from the formula here you could see count A2 to 11. So from this A2 to A11 I have 10 product ID, which has told me that I have 10 products. We have what we call index. What does index do? It points to a specific cell in a range. It points to a specific cell in a range. Think of it as coordinate on your map. Think of it as coordinate in your map. Let's say for example, index. So for example, I want to find the price of the third column. I want to find the price of the third column, because index actually points you to a specific cell in the range. I have 15,000, 3,000, 45,000, which is the third. So I want to find the third. So I'm going to use my equal to, don't forget. Then I'll call out index. Then I am going to select the range. The range is from D2 to D11. D2 to D11. So now I'm saying with this index that in this range from D2 to D11, I want to know the price of the third column. So I'll just write my 3. After writing my 3, I close my bracket and then hit enter. You could see it brings out $45,000. If you go back to the third column is 45. So, and you could see the formula here, index D2 to D11. It highlights everything. Then I want to know in this range, I want to know the price in the third cell, which is 45,000. That is what you use index for. Next, for example, let's go to match. What does match function does? Match finds the position of a value in a range. So instead of looking for the value in the cell, instead it finds the value, the position of that value in the cell. So let's say, for example, I want to find the position of irrigation equipment. This is irrigation equipment. I want to find the position. So I'm going to go to use my equal sign, match, open bracket. Irrigation system is in B5. So B5, my column. Then I have to select the whole range, which is B2 to B11, B2 to B11. I forgot my comma sign. Your comma first, don't forget that. Comma, B2 column, B11. You could see that I've selected B5, which is the irrigation system. Then I've also selected the range, which is B2 to B11. Then next, I'm going to use exact match, which is 0, less than, greater than. I'm using exact match. So I'll type in 0, close my bracket, and hit enter. You could see that the answer is 4. Why is it 4? Because this is where the position of irrigation system is. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually in the 4th column. So match, what match does is to find the position of a value in a range. Find the position of a value in a range. So we are going to look at, finally, for this session, VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. Let's say, for example, I want to find the category of product 106. This is product 106, but I want to find the category. This is the category, but I want to look up the category from the product ID. So let's say, for example, you could use anywhere, don't worry, as long as the formula matches what you are looking for, equals to VLOOKUP. And I open my bracket. What do I want to look up? I want to look up A7 with my column. Now it's A7 I want to look up, but I want to look it up in the category section. So A7, I have my comma, not semicolon, comma, A7 selected. Now which range do I want to look for it? Because if I select 106, I have to include this category. So from which range to which range? I'm going to start from the A11 to F11. You could see everything is selected now. A11 to F11 is being selected here. You could see it in the red. What do I do next? My comma. After my comma, I'll now fill in the index column. Now, what am I filling in? I'm telling Excel that though I want you to use this range to look for what I'm looking for, but what I'm looking for is in the 3rd column. 1, 2, 3. So first I select what I want to look up, which is a product ID A7. Secondly, I select the range I'm looking for. Then thirdly, the specific column I want you to look up for is this column 3. This is where my business is. I select column 3, my comma. Then there's exact match and there's true match. But I'm looking for exact match, which is false. Which is false. So I close and I hit enter. Did you just see what happened? Equipment. It gave me equipment. So this product 106 is in equipment category. But don't forget how we got here. My VLOOKUP, the product is 106. The range is A11 to F11. Then I'm looking at the third column, then first to give me the exact match. And this is the formula in the formula bar. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe